Good morning, everyone. This is Ty Sanders. It's Friday, October 5th. Happy Friday, everyone. I am lucky enough to be interviewing a Jodi Parker this morning, and she is so full of knowledge, excuse me, when it comes to our children and allergies and the way that she uh, cares for her children and holds is unbelievable. Um, she has been my Purium mentor now for about 5 months since I met her early summer. Hi, Jodi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I was just filling everybody in on how amazing you are and that you help us with all of our mom questions on our kids as far as allergies go because you have been through the ringer, and that you are also one of the wonderful ladies that uh, is working very diligently on the is it the Moms Madness or the March of the
Million
Moms.
Mom Movement.
Um, there, thank you.
The Million Mom
So yes,
Movement.
she is
Yep.
working. Million Mom Movement. I could have said that 12 times before I asked you, but oh well, just mistakes. So I wanted you to first start out by just telling us your story.
Okay.
You hear me?
So I'll nutshell it for you. I can hear you. Are we good? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Making sure we're good. The delay for people watching, I'm sorry, the delay on Facebook Live is kind of a pain. So my story. So I am a stay-at-home mom to three kids. I have a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and I homeschool them, and I have my own business, and I am a shamanic practitioner, and I have a lot of balls in the air. And I got on this path because my oldest, when he was an infant, at about 3 months old, clearly started getting sick. There were things wrong. He started getting eczema and he stopped being able to have bowel movements. And then he stopped sleeping and it got worse and worse. And the pediatrician was less than useless. Like, was trying to put him on Zantac and Miralax, even though those didn't really fit his symptoms, and referred me to a gastroenterologist who was 8 weeks out. But by that point, my son had stopped having bowel movements altogether, and I was afraid he was going to go septic. So I went on a mission to find somebody to help me, and I found he's a doctor of chiropractic and a bioenergetic practitioner. And he literally saved my son's life. At 5 months old, my son was borderline liver failure. And that changed everything. I had to learn how to truly live pure. And, now 13 years later, we have his genetics. We know that genetically he just does not detox efficiently. And even though I had detox for a year before I had him, he still was just sensitive to everything and his liver couldn't take it. And so I had to learn how to live clean. I had to learn all about detox. My other two kids are just as sensitive as him, but neither one of them got as sick because by that point I knew what I was doing. And I made it my mission when my middle one, he's 10 now, and when he was about 18 months old, I started just getting on mom blogs, and then I joined Facebook and getting on natural websites and just answering questions all day long because I didn't want another mom to ever feel the doubt that I went through. And
Right.
my daughter's hand is right here. Um, and so that became my mission. So I've been at this for about, I don't know, since 2009, just helping anywhere I can because there are so many answers out there and we don't have to just stick with what is. And there's a wider perspective when you look at it holistically than you can with conventional medicine. And I want people to know that they have choices and that they're not conscripted to just live with certain things. So that's my mission, and
Right.
I'm on it.
And I'm on it with you. So yeah, I mean, this I have been able to really. Yesterday, unfortunately, was the worst day that I've had in months. And landing back up in the ER because I couldn't get rid of this terrible, terrible migraine of mine. It is just so defeating to have to
Mm.
go to that level. And it's like, you know what? I know that I can do better than this, or that there's got to be something more that I am missing that has me feeling like this every few weeks because it's just relentless. So, yeah, I totally get it, and I am on that mission because I just feel like we have been through the ringer as far as doctors and diagnoses and all of that. For us anyway, it's been very difficult. So I totally applaud you and I thank you for everything you're doing. So in
Well,
your everyday
here's my
life, like,
philosophy. I just wanted to
go
say
ahead.
my philosophy is I don't think that anything is uncurable. I just don't look at it that way. I think there is an answer for everything, and I'm that girl who will hunt
Mm,
until I find it. So if you're getting migraines
I
like
love
that,
that.
they're probably hormonally based because it's in a cycle. And so you might
Mm-hmm.
want to look at that, look at your liver health, and look at have you been checked for parasites? That'd be the other thing I would look at because parasite lifetimes are cyclical. So some things to consider that you could, research into.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Three things I'd never heard
Mhm.
about, so I appreciate that. So,
Absolutely.
so on a normal day, what does a normal day look like for cooking for your kids?
A normal day. Well, we all tend to do, the kids really like buckwheat, like hot buckwheat cereal or oatmeal. And we add in a lot of different protein powders and greens. I make them add greens to their breakfast every day. Usually it's barley green juice that they add. And they use something called MVP Kids, which is a chocolate kids protein. And they love sun butter. So a couple of them put sun butter in their breakfast. And that's the big stuff where we do a shake. And then it changes from day to day. Lunches, we do salads a lot. The kids really like omelets. I'm vegan, but the family is not. So they like omelets, and I put as many vegetables as I can get them to eat in it. In the winter, we do pastas, we do chilies. We really like Mexican food. My husband is from Albuquerque, so lots of avocados and green chilies and beans and rice. And I make homemade salsa. I make homemade salad dressing. The kids, I try and get them to eat raw a lot because I like that raw food has its enzymes already, although I do soak some of the nuts because phytic acid is a concern because it keeps you from absorbing nutrients. So I'm careful, like cashews, we always soak them. I actually make a cheese dip out of cashews, out of soaked cashews. It's cashews and brewer's yeast and onion and garlic and sea salt and pepper. And I just blend it
Wow.
up and it becomes a dip. And cucumber and broccoli and cauliflower are big favorites of my kids to dip in that. So we do that a lot. Um, what's your favorite munchkin? You think of something that you eat a lot? She loves turkey. That's her thing. It's the only meat she eats. She loves turkey. Turkey bacon too. Oh, turkey bacon, she says. She wants everybody to know that. That's like an indulgence though.
I like
But
broccoli.
you like broccoli? See? Win. Mom win. Um, if they're not eating their veggies, I make sure that we have something called lemon green spectrum. It tastes like lemon tea. And a couple of all three of them will down that. If I'm like, we want this. Okay, you have to have greens first. That's the go-to. That or an appleberry power shake they will go to ensure that they're getting all that like super dense nutrition. And I make snack bars and I
Right.
make smoothies and on and on.
Yes, I'm definitely going to get on your website, Higher Living Journey, and get some of your recipes off there because it's amazing. Um,
I need to add
this,
more. But I'll do that as I go. I'm that cook that I like look around, I see what I have, and I just throw things together. And then people ask me, how'd you do that? I don't know. I just did it. So I finally started writing it down. Um,
that's funny.
but yeah.
So most recently, you were diagnosed with Lyme disease. How's that going, and how is Purium helping with that?
Well, the lime is gone. Yay.
Yay!
So, how did Purium help? Well, superfoods. I believe that nutrition is the basis of health, period, end of statement. Because if you don't have the building blocks your body needs to engage in what it needs to do, then it can't do what it needs to do. And the body is a self-healing mechanism. You get a scratch, it heals it, right? And I think that's true of everything, as long as you get the toxins out and get the nutrients in. And so for me, I wasn't as symptomatic for Lyme as most people who have it because I had such a clean lifestyle. I mean, I eat superfoods multiple times a day, and I'm even careful about, we don't use paraffin candles, and we don't use fabric softener, and we only use products on our skin that would be safe to eat. And so we're really careful about all of that. And so for me, Lyme was an underlying condition, and I kept getting Epstein-Barr and cytomegalovirus, or my thyroid would go funky, and we couldn't figure out why we couldn't get me balanced. And finally figured out it was because I had an underlying chronic Lyme issue. And
Mm.
so we went through a program to treat that, and the Lyme is gone as far as we can tell. And I'm still dealing a little bit with Epstein-Barr. I'm treating that right now, detoxing that. But without the superfoods, I wouldn't have been able to function, frankly. My doctor told me I was the healthiest sick person they've ever seen. And I attribute it all to my diet. I did have the brain fog and I did have the fatigue, but I didn't have any digestive problems and I didn't have any joint issues except in my neck because everything's in my neck. My lymph was a little swollen and stuff. But other than that, I was pretty blessed. So I never bought into the diagnosis. I think that when you name something, when you label something, it makes it more real. And so for me, I always said
Totally.
I was on a Lyme journey and now I'm done.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just have had like this for I've had so many questions on our kids' products and how much protein a child should really have in their diet. Can you let any information on that?
It's really hard to say because genetics play a factor, toxin load plays a factor, and kids are really good at knowing what they need. If they've started with a clean diet, and it's always easier to start with a clean diet than it is to change to a clean diet, but it is totally possible to change as well. But as they get clean, their bodies will crave what they need. So for instance, my 5-year-old, anytime she's going through a growth spurt, starts popping chlorella tablets and snacking on them. Well, chlorella has something in it called chlorella growth factor. Did you hear her? She said, yum. And anytime she's going through a growth spurt, she just automatically goes and eats that. And it's like her body knows that's what she needs. And she eats she'll like pour herself a like little mini bowl then every day. And so I think it's really important to trust kids' bodies. When they tell you they're full, they usually are. When they tell you they don't want any more, something that's really important to remember is kids have very small stomachs, but huge nutrition needs. And so they may like get halfway through a meal and go, I don't want any more of this, but I want that. And oftentimes it's because they need different nutrients and their stomach is
Totally.
only so big. And so you have to let them regulate that and trust them in that. So there are days when my daughter will have 1 scoop of MVP Kids, which is 10 grams of protein for breakfast. And there are days when she will put 3 in there. Um, and so you really have to trust them and listen to what they're telling you because it needs to be a dialogue because nobody likes to waste food and kids are tricky and they will complain if they don't like something and you need to get down to the bottom line. Do they not like it or does their body need something else? Maybe they've had too many carbs and they really need fat and protein, or maybe they've
That
had too
makes
much
so
fat and
much
they really need
sense.
carbs. And so it's really important to listen to them and have a dialogue and to let them learn to trust their bodies, because there is no one size fits all. We like to think there is, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Just make sure
Nope.
they're getting lots of nutrient density. French fries, there's no nutrition there. Lots of calories, but no nutrition. And so then they'll tell you, well, I'm hungry again. And it's because their body is crying out for nutrition. They want more nutrients. And you'll find that if you give them really nutrient dense foods, they won't eat as much crap because their body
Right,
has what it
right.
needs.
That's awesome. What about the kids? Like I told you, I've had lots and lots of questions on the celiac. And that basically means that they just need to enjoy a gluten-free life to live at their best, feeling their best. And so I just wanted, like, our all of our MVP kids and all of that is all gluten-free. Am I correct in that?
Yes, MVP Kids is gluten free, the Immune Shield, the In Focus, and then there's a lot. The barley grass juice, the Power Shake, both the original and apple berry flavor. I'm pretty sure the Love Super Meal, the Bio Fruit, the Carrot Juice Plus, the Green Spectrum, the Can't Beat This, the Aloe Digest, the Cocoa Hydrate. So all those juice bar in a bag stuff, all of that is
Yeah.
gluten free. So there's lots and lots of choices for a gluten-free lifestyle. And I want to put in here too that there's a difference between celiac and gluten sensitivity. So celiac is a genetic thing, and it can be very serious, and you want to avoid gluten, period. But gluten sensitivity is usually a leaky gut thing. And as you heal the gut, the sensitivity goes away. And so we get a lot of questions about biomedic for kids and adults who are sensitive to gluten. And everybody has to make their own choice. I mean, it is a little itty bitty tiny bit of gluten in the biomedic. It's zero point 0.7 micrograms. It's itty bitty. Um,
Right.
but my middle child is extremely sensitive to gluten and has been on biomedic for a year very successfully. And so make sure people understand the difference between celiac and gluten sensitivity are not the same thing.
Good to know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. So what else would you like to add on this Friday afternoon?
I don't know. What else do you want me to talk about? I'm that girl who
Um,
talk all day long.
well, just what is the Purium products that you use the most? What do you find most helpful in your day-to-day life?
We go through a lot of MVP Kids chocolate protein. We all like chocolate, and it's really easily digestible and it tastes good. And so, as a family, we go through a lot of that. We use so much of it. My breakfast this morning, I took a picture and put it on Instagram, was 2 scoops of MVP Kids, 4 scoops of barley green juice, 4 scoops of Kamut blend, a scoop of more greens, and a scoop of Power of 10 veggie, which unfortunately has been discontinued. But I crave it. So that's my breakfast every day. And sometimes I change it up a little bit, but that's the gist of it. Um, we use the juice bar in a bag a lot. We use the vitamin C. I love the C from nature. I love the immune shield for the kids and actually for me too, because the adult uh, immunity stuff, the Immunomax has colostrum in it, and we're all really sensitive to dairy, so we can't take that. So both my husband and I will also take the kids' immune shield, and I love that stuff. I think it's amazing. But if you came to my house, like we use it all. I love the chill spray. We have the CBD. I love the ease. Um, I put it into anything I can put it on. My kids are just used to their food being green because I add greens to anything I can sneak it into. So we go through a lot, but I'm definitely living the lifestyle to the nth degree. There's no doubt.
That is so awesome. And do you have a yoga practice, meditation practice? What is it that you use to keep yourself grounded and calm and just I know you
Um,
have such a beautiful rock collection. I'm sure you sit up there and admire that. That's what I would do.
yeah, I have crystals everywhere. I've been going to the Denver Wholesale Gem and Mineral Show every year for 17 years. So there
Oh
are rocks
my.
everywhere. And my latest thing is making necklaces, but I do that. I meditate daily, so I am a shamanic practitioner. So I've been studying metaphysics for over 20 years now, and so I meditate every single morning for a minimum of a half an hour, but usually longer, more like an hour, sometimes two. I've even gone as long as three. I do that every day. I try and exercise every day, but I'm not that girl who can like sit in the gym and lift weights. I get bored. And so I do things like garden and I purposely, do a squat to pull the weed and then stand up and then do another squat. We live right near hiking trails, so we hike a lot. And I walk a lot, and we do have exercise equipment in my basement. So on those days I can't get outside, we use that. And I love to sing and I love to read. So those are sort of my fill me up kind of stuff, things that I do. But
Totally.
I can't say enough about how important meditation is to mindfulness and being able to stay centered and grounded and really keep our heart open, because I think that as a society, our hearts are closed. And people do that because they want to keep from being hurt. But the problem with that is if your heart is closed, not only can you not give love, but you can't receive it. And so there's great strength in that vulnerability of having an open heart,
Huge.
and meditation and mindfulness is an absolute key to being able to maintain that.
I completely agree. So, with this Million Moms March going on, I would love to have a lot of people tell me that they are interested in this, and hopefully, my little chapter or whatever you want to call it would be willing to help you with whatever you needed. And so that is definitely already been flagged on my itinerary, and I hope that you would know that you would be the first one I would contact. So yes, I appreciate this so much, and you have so much knowledge of so many different products. I'd love to do this every couple weeks if possible, and just come up
Sure.
with different, more scientifical questions that yeah, because I really need everyone to hear from people that I trust, and I trust you with all my whole heart. And you're such a great mom, and looking and seeing your kids be part of your business is awesome. And I can only hope that someday our Purium business would be that big that, it would be the way that my family could live and travel, and we're manifesting all that right now. So, but I'm just so proud of you and everything that you've done, and
Aw.
and just your travel through Lyme disease. I really appreciate you sharing that story, and we could also do this vice versa on my story at some point if you want. So,
That would
you
be
let me know.
awesome because your story is profound. The strength that you have
Oh,
shown
girl.
and just the pure focus to get yourself through this, like that, there are not many people who would do what you've done, and you should definitely see yourself as we all see you as this strong warrior who went, talk to the hand. I am not listening to what you're telling me. I'm going to fix this. And I have great admiration for that because I resemble that remark. I'm totally there with you.
Yep.
So great job. I'm just, your story is
Thank you.
amazing. And for
Thank
the
you.
Million
Thank you.
Mom movement, we just need 1,000 moms in 100 cities to teach 10 families how to live healthier. And so the council, we've had a couple of meetings and we have some things in the work. Um, Million Mom Movement Healthy Happy Hours, specifically geared to moms and their kids, and blogs, and a new website coming. And we've got a gazillion ideas, and it's just a matter of getting them, going. And so that's all in the works. It's all happening. And we'll definitely keep you updated as we have more and more resources, because our goal is to really empower not just moms, to empower families, but we're all moms. And so that's how it became the Million Mom movement. But of course, dads and teachers and anybody who works with kids, we welcome into it because we have very serious issues with the food system in this country. And it is making a lot of people really sick. More than 1 in 2 kids in this country have a chronic health issue, and that needs to be fixed. It's
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Um, well, let's schedule something soon. And I just want to thank everybody, whoever gets tagged in this video, get with the person that you saw, and we'll give you guys our gift card numbers. So let us know if we can help with any other questions that you guys come up with or anything else. But thank you, Jodi. You're such a
Oh,
beautiful woman,
absolutely.
and I appreciate your help, and I will see you soon.
Hopefully in person, right?
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All
And
right.
we'll be in touch. Good night. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.